Welcome back, city builders. CodiakTheKodiak here. In today's video, we're going to be going over a ton of new City Skylines 2 news content, from the new patch that's coming out to all of the new region packs that have come out for City Skylines 2 in the past month. On top of that, we also got some updates and information about the console version of the game. There is a new patch that has just gone live here today, which contains a bunch of bug fixes and improvements to the UI. And finally, we also have some community and creator updates to share with you as well. Now, before we get started, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and do not forget to turn on notifications so you can keep up to date with all the City Skylines 2 news, tips, and tricks. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, first order of business is a community update. Quite a few of your favorite content creators have picked up shop over on BlueSky. Now, I've taken it upon myself to create a City Skylines pack for all of your favorite creators, whether they be video creators, asset creators, or modders, as well as the official City Skylines accounts and the official account for the modding Discord community. Now, I'm trying my best to keep this list populated with all of your favorite creators, whether, again, they be modders, video creators, or asset makers. And full disclosure, I might have missed somebody. And there's also 3 creators that I'm having issues adding into the pack. I will leave their links separate down below in the description, along with the link to this pack over here on BlueSky. You can actually sign up directly through the pack as well. Don't worry, we filed a support ticket, so hopefully we will get these people into the pack as soon as possible. So if you're interested, come be a part of the City Skylines community over on BlueSky. And while you're at it, if you're moving to other platforms, feel free to take a look at my Discord, which is also down in the description, so you guys can keep up to date with all of my personal updates and content scheduling. Now on to the next bit of news. The UK pack is officially out for City Skylines 2. I didn't make any video on the German pack either, so that is also out as well. I was trying to do a live stream for it and my streaming PC died, so the video was just messed up, so I ended up just deleting it. So just so you guys are aware, all 3 of the previously announced region packs are officially out. The French pack, the German pack, and the UK pack. The UK pack is absolutely massive as well. It's about 7 gigabytes, which is significantly larger than the previous 2. And I'm sure you'll see a lot of creators really hyping up the UK pack, as it can be quite a diverse selection of assets. You can use these in an NA build or in a European build. They fit so nicely into so much stuff that I highly suggest you take a look at it. I think for future region packs, I probably also won't do videos exclusively for them, because I can't really release videos until these packs are out, and at that point, you should just go download them because they're free. So if you haven't already, stop what you're doing and take a look at these free region packs created by our wonderful community asset creators. Next up is the official City Skylines community post over on the Paradox forums. Hello, city builders. We hope this message finds you well. We have some updates to share with you. The next region pack is available today. This video is coming out the day after the pack came out, so yesterday, which you guys can go and download right now. You should totally do that. We're thrilled to announce that the next region pack is almost here. This time, we bring you to the United Kingdom with a collection of community-created assets inspired by local architecture and landscapes of Great Britain. The UK region pack will be available today, which was actually yesterday. It's live right now. There was an issue with it at launch, so they had to re-upload it in order to fix something that was wrong with it. So if you were a little confused on why it wasn't ready right at time, that's what was going on, but it is available right now, and I highly suggest you guys take a look at that one. Patch release tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a small bug fixing patch for you. This update brings some gameplay fixes, UI improvements, and more. Full patch notes will be available alongside the release tomorrow at 10 CET. And by tomorrow, that is actually today, so we're going to be taking a look at the newest patch in a little bit here. A heads up for our modding community, the talented modders in our early access program are already reviewing mod compatibility with this version. And they do that with almost every single update for City Skylines 2. However, as always, we ask for your patience, as many mods require updates and might not work immediately after the patch goes live. As you guys know, modders are normal people, just like you and me, who work a normal job and then they come home and make these super awesome stuff for us. So sometimes their lives get in the way and they can't update the mods immediately. So please be patient with the modders as they slowly begin to roll these out if they're unable to right away. Upcoming creator packs. This is a big one for many of you. We have some exciting news regarding the upcoming creator packs, urban promenades, and modern architecture, and the corresponding soft rock radio. They will soon be available. Keep your eyes open for more details as we shortly shed some light on the content of them, the creators behind them, and their release date. As many of you guys know, these creator packs are made by the people who work diligently to give us the free assets on the workshop. This is a nice collaboration that Paradox does with these asset creators, giving them a fair exchange of value in order to get you more cool official first-party content and also give some funding to these amazing asset creators who diligently work for free most of the time. I'm very excited to finally get these. These obviously should have came out with the deluxe edition early on, and they've been delayed for quite a while, so now that they're finally coming, this is very exciting. Additional creator packs and radios. Looking ahead, we also want to let you know that the 3 additional creator packs and radio stations that will be included in the Ultimate Edition, so if you have the Ultimate Edition of the game, these are the ones that you are owed for free for purchasing that version of the game, are in the pipeline. While these won't be ready for a Q4 release, they are in the last implementation stages and will be ready for release early next year. So it does seem like that the urban promenades and modern architecture we will get in Q4 of this year, so probably before the new year, unless they have like a weird Q4 that isn't part of the actual physical year. So we should get those before January, and it does seem like the other creator packs will be early next year, and it seems like they're mostly done. Console update. So this is a big one for those of you playing on console, obviously. It's not the best news, but it's more info that might shed a light on kind of what's going on. While we do not have a new release date for the console version yet, we want to keep you up to date on our progress and our challenges. Currently, we are experiencing both simulation issues, which is related to the CPU, and graphic issues, which is related to the GPU, which become noticeable when players take certain actions that cause frame rate drops or memory overload. I'm assuming this is a similar thing that Planet Coaster is currently experiencing right now. Planet Coaster 2 recently just came out, and I've been playing quite a bit of that over on my Twitch stream, which you can find a link to down in the description. But when you hover over certain menu icons in that game, sometimes the entire simulation and the game will just slow down completely because it's getting a memory overload. For whatever reason, that menu isn't fully optimized. So I'm assuming that's a similar issue that they're having. These issues are particularly challenging due to the hardware limitation of consoles. You know, they can't really change the gameplay requirements like they could on the PC. They could say, oh, well, the recommended specs are a 3080, which is quite high, but at least they're being transparent on what that is. They can't do that on console. It has to run on the stock default settings that they have no control over. For instance, when placing larger buildings that involve numerous entities, the system struggles to handle data load. During the calculation process, e.g. checking if there's enough space or if any entities overlap with existing assets, performance bottlenecks arise, resulting in these noticeable issues. At this point, we have managed to get the game to a stable and playable state by significantly lowering the graphic quality. However, that's to a level where it becomes a compromise that we're not willing to make. So they're functionally saying here, I mean, it's pretty transparent, we can get the game to run, but we don't like the way that it looks, and it's not a quality that we're okay with releasing. Once we get it to an acceptable level, further optimizations are needed for both simulation and memory usage before we're ready to share the console version. Until they are resolved, we cannot provide a release estimate to avoid it being premature and potentially misleading. I think they've learned from their mistakes in the past, and giving timelines is kind of a bad thing because they have a tendency to miss them. So rather than give you guys a timeline, they're just gonna keep their mouth shut until they're very confident in that. The console release remains a top priority for us, and we have multiple solutions being explored with experts actively involved, and we're working hard to bring you the console versions of Cities Skylines 2. And just a reminder for those of you playing on PC who don't really care about the console version of the game, a lot of these optimizations that will come to the console version will also benefit the PC users. So you will see an increased performance with these gains that are also being made on console, which is overall a net positive. With appreciation, the Cities Skylines team. Now, next up is the newest patch that has just come out. It is 1.1.12 F1, and this patch, while small, does contain some pretty substantial fixes and one pretty unique gameplay change that I've actually been asking for since launch, and I'm pretty excited about it. Now, because I'm recording this before the actual patch is live, I'm going to be reading the patch notes off of a Google Sheet, and I'm only going to be reading out the ones that I think are relevant. So, under gameplay fixes and improvements, optimize citizens' job-seeking calculations to make that run smoother, adjusted garbage accumulation values lower for some buildings, so they've lowered it on certain buildings, and there's a huge list of the buildings right there, increased student amount for college and university buildings, which is actually really nice, added university interest effect to the radio telescope research city service building, Fixed an issue where citizens can go shopping in office building zones. It's a really weird one, figured I'd point it out. Fixed no pedestrian access error despite overground parking building being connected to the sidewalk. So if you have that issue, that's been fixed. Now let's go on to UI fixes and improvements. Improved post-facility buildings info view color to be more distinguished from the mail accumulation color. Swapped action for focus and unfollow citizen in the life path panel to make it harder to accidentally unfollow a citizen. Apparently that was an issue people were having, figured I'd point it out. Added the ability to load selected map with double clicks, and I can just double click it and it will load it up. Now this one is the one that I have been asking for since launch. Added topography section to the tools mode and moved contour lines to it. So now you can have the topography lines on while zoning. I know myself as well as City Planner Plays used to utilize this all the time in City Skylines 1, and we are both ecstatic that this has been added to City Skylines 2 now. Fixed overflowing when tools mode label was too large, causing several modes to disappear. Fixed demand bar showing inaccurate width compared to demand percentage. Fixed cinematic camera save load panel could render out of bounds when the UI scaling was enabled. And fixed signature building info view not showing marker icons and colorizing the wrong building types. Lastly, we have some modding changes, added safety measures so maps revert to default climate when a custom climate is missing. So if there's ever an issue with the custom climate, it will default to revert to the default climate. Apparently this fixes FPS drops and visual issues on affected share maps, so this should actually help increase performance in certain use cases, it seems like, as well. Fixed custom climate not being shared with custom apps, and fixed starting tile section in the editor not responding to anything, so now that should actually work. As I mentioned at the start, there are some community updates, and I wanted to give a shout out to Sully Skylines, who did a sit down with Macwelshman, one of the two creators working on the UK pack, and kind of had a frank and brief discussion about what went into making the pack and all of the different choices they made in terms of assets. It's really fascinating and a great video to watch if you're interested in what goes into making these wonderful assets, and it's a full breakdown of the pack. And since I'm not doing a video on it, you should go take a look at Sully's video. Now, I think that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll let you guys get on with your day. I've been Kodiak the Kodiak, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.